Hello, friends. Welcome back once again to another edition of the Nugget Report. These are reports that Matthew Geiger, the owner of Verity Metals, and I do together. And of course, we are focused on what's happening in the metals market. And as always, we've been doing this since actually December of 2022. We've been highlighting the fact that we need to convert over from the fiat to the real system. And a lot of the friends who listened to us, man, at the very beginning, right, they followed through, and now they're seeing returns double, triple, quadruple, because they got in there when silver was relatively cheap. So with that little bit of intro, I want to see how you're doing first, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Doing great. Thank you. Great introduction. Always, you have the best music in the business, the best opening music.
So
your creativity has always been great with that. No, everything's great. You know, I love coming on your shows, and we always have a good time. You know, we have a very special community, and I'm very grateful for it. So good to be with you, Kelly. Good to see you. You look wonderful. She was worried about being too close to the camera. I said, no, come closer. You look great. So good for you.
I'm trying to balance the mic situation out, right? I'm not savvy, but Matt, you got to admit, I've come a long way, baby, since we first started. Remember all the technical issues that we used to
Totally. We used to do this by phone. Remember, we did it by phone. No one even knew what I looked like.
Yeah, it was hilarious. We had a lot of fun over the years. Now, of course, with this Nugget Report, we had done a couple of episodes, and what I want to do, I've kind of dedicated it to us in terms of nuggets, kind of the gold nugget. That's why I named it the Nugget Report back yonder. But I also want to kind of bring in each episode, I want to bring in an eternal nugget, because as many of the friends know, I have been battling with some cancers over the last several years, and God kind of stopped me dead in my tracks for a year and a half. That's why you hadn't seen Matt and I together for a long time. And during that process, God has taught me a lot of stuff. And obviously the number one thing is that he is numero uno. He is the eternal nugget. So today's eternal nugget is actually the foundational eternal nugget, and I'm going to read that to you right now, just give you a little bit of backdrop, and then we are going to go right into it. And here is the nugget. This is John 3:16. I know many of the friends are very familiar with this. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. And yes, the foundation is Jesus. He is the one that is the gate to the Father. And that's what I've learned over the last couple of years. It's just the intimacy, having that intimate relationship with the Father. So even though we seek treasure, gold medal, and converting it to a good financial plan on the earth, the number one goal, I hope and I pray for everyone that's listening, is to have that intimate relationship with the Father. And the only way you can do it is through Jesus. He's not just a prophet. He's not just a good man. He is the Messiah. He was foretold about in the Old Testament before he was ever born. He rose from the dead, many eyewitnesses to it. So I just want to tell you, as a Christian for 45 years, he is the real deal. God is the real deal, okay? And just kind of read between the lines, because I'm sure you probably figured out over those many years, I've had some encounters, and tying right into scripture. So I just want to encourage people to really seek God. Now, Matt, do you want to add anything to that, or do you want me to just kind of dive in?
Amen. And you see these crazy liberals out there today. We saw that video of that woman saying, if ICE ever, and it's a white woman, mind you, she said if ICE ever came to take her and her kids, that she'd kill her own kids first. These people are so out of their minds. And I think that the only recovery there is to get in touch with God. That's the only thing that will cure them. There's nothing else. There's no hobby. There's no sport. There's no exercise, whatever. It's literally that is the only cure for these deranged lunatics. And I hope with the return of John Jr., I hope that he will motivate people to start moving toward God. And God bless Charlie Kirk, whether you think he really died or didn't, whatever the case is, churches were packed that following Sunday. Yeah. And that, to me, that is, it's the ultimate accomplishment. You know, we have this welfare system that's out of control, you know, that gets abused. Churches were the original welfare system. If you needed a hand up and you needed something to, you know, get, you know, feed your family, whatever the case is, you could go to a church and they'd have a room full of food and you could take whatever you wanted. We need to return to those days.
Totally agree with you. And speaking of, you know, the Charlie Kirk angle and Q, you know, obviously you and I together have been following the Q drops for many, many years. Before I connected with you, I was doing the videos. You know, we're almost up to what, 9 full years? It's crazy. But it is the communications I've learned to read. And I believe the Holy Spirit obviously is a foundation for that. But I've learned to read the Q communications. And like Q has said, we're everywhere, right? So all of these narratives. Now, what I want to do before we open up with this, because obviously the monetary angle right now with the metals is a huge, important part of the reset, right? Of this narrative going forward. And I sincerely believe that what we're seeing right now with these educational Asian guy videos, and we're seeing them everywhere, is this is the Q team educating regular Americans, you know, who may not have been involved in the stock market and all that, and teaching them the basics of holding on and getting the precious metals, you know, gold and silver, and get ready for this reset. And I'm going to show you a couple of examples, and it's the way Q communicates, right? Timestamps, you know, in terms of date timestamps, mirrors, just you'll see, and you're going to go, what are the odds, my friends? You just have to ask yourself, what are the odds? Well, they're astronomical. And this shows you, to me, it's clear as day that Q is behind what's going on. And Matt and I are going to dive more into it. Let me just share these couple of screenshots, Matt, to show you classic Q communications. So obvious. Okay, so the first one, you know, so this guy talks and he just has these random, you know, clocks and numbers behind him. Notice all the, you know, the Van Gogh kind of artwork, etc. And here's our first clock, and it's talking about the economy. And what is the timestamp? 107. We all know what 107 is. 107, Lee Harvey Oswald, connected to President Kennedy, all of that. We're all very familiar with that. So that's a marker right there. They're telling you 107, the Q team is in charge of the economy right now. What you're seeing happening is a part of the Q operation. Okay. So once again, we have another clock with the timestamp of 107. But if you notice, if you look at the timestamp in the video, it's 24:41. So what am I going to do, Matt? What I always did, right? I go to the Q drop, 24:41. And if you look, it's a part of scripture, how apropos. But if you notice the description underneath it, you see the 714, do the reversal, 417, and day 417, April 17th, is the 107th day of the year. So it's mirroring back to this random 107 clock behind this guy. This is how they communicate. It's hilarious. Okay, so this was really interesting. So in this particular video, I got the last timestamp, the 1354, before the next second, obviously the 1355. The video was going in a loop. It would like go dark. You could kind of hear his voice. Then it'd come back again. Then it would go dark. Then it'd come back again. Then it'd go dark. It was like caught in a loop. Okay. Well, if you go to when it first started, right, the very next second is when it started, and you look at that Q drop, it just happens to be mentioning loop. Okay, this is what Q does. It's so obvious, but you have to be able to catch it, right? But this is how they communicate. This is what do I say? Exhibit 101 on how the Q team does communicate. So then the next one we have show. I highlighted show, and of course here's our random 2417 above them. And if you go to that Q drop, well, there is the show, all the shows that are playing in DC. There's Panic, the Marquee. Okay, so they're talking about shows that are playing, and this guy's literally saying the word show at that exact time. Okay, it totally dovetails together. Okay, next one. This was funny. So I got the next two graphics. He's saying 1 in the first one, hour and 27. So 1:27. Well, what does the clock say behind him? 12:07, which of course is another way to look at 127, right? You just knock the zero out. So he's talking about the number on the clock that's displayed behind him at those exact moments. Okay. Again, mirrors. This is how Q operates. And then here is another mirror. If you look at the numbers that are on this little line and you go from right to left, 8593, and of course, it just happens to be at the 8:05 timestamp, okay? We all know what 85 is. That's our marker with President Kennedy in terms of the day of the year, all right? And then 93 is September 3rd. Of course, Prince William, there's tie in there. But if you do the mirror of it, the 13 bloodline families to the power of 3, okay? This is how they communicate it. So this is another perfect mirror. And then the last one is this 89.7, just some random number behind him. He's not even talking about it. And then when you go and it says time, it's time, it says the bottom of the Q drop, track inside sales, divestures, they know, watch the sell-off liquidity event. What is this guy showing to us in all of these videos? He's explaining how the cabal bankers and their corruption and what they've been doing with these derivatives, right? And this Q drop just happens to tie in perfectly with this number behind this guy as he's speaking about all this stuff. Okay, so Matt, what are the odds, my friend? What are the odds? This is classic Q.
It supports everything we've been talking about. There is going to be a market collapse. And those are going to be the people, what Trump did in his first term is there was massive inflation happening, but what he did is he moved the inflation into the stock market. So the stock market's way overinflated. Plus they're creating all these derivatives, as you just correctly pointed out. What do you think is going to happen? These things are dots and teetles on a computer screen, as our good friend Juan O'Savin would call them. So why are people staying in this stuff? Get out of it. Call me. Go to your local dealer. Get into the metals. Ride this stuff. And we get a nice big price drop right now.
The dip. Yep, the dip. That's what you do. That's the gift. And I have some more graphics literally calling it the dip, the gift, okay, in the videos. But that's your time to go in and grab it. People look at it and go, oh, $70 or $80. It's too expensive. Well, if you're looking at it compared to $25, but here's the thing. When this goes to the moon, okay, silver, because it has so many applications, right? It's not just a monetary asset. It's tied into a lot of the technology, okay? When it goes to the moon and has no floor where it can literally find its price, its fair price in a market that has short supply, okay? $80, $90, $121 is nothing, okay? So this Asian guy, there's a couple of channels I watch, and I'll put the links down there. They have been, telling us, go in and buy the precious metals. Don't wait on the sidelines. So there's a lot of urgency that's being communicated in these videos, but I also think they gave us an opportunity, Matt, when they came from 121 and then brought it back
100%.
down. 60s, right? But you
100%.
can't panic. You cannot panic.
What they're trying to do is they're trying to get the weak hands to sell. Because what does that do? That frees up supply. So some other person that understands what we're talking about has the opportunity to buy it, right? There's not that much silver out there. So the people that have it, buy it at whatever price. I mean, within the realm of reason, of course, but get your hands on the stuff, because what have we said from day one, Kelly? It's not the price that's going to be prohibitive. It's going to be your ability to get it.
That's it. We've said that since December of 2022, and it's not gotten any better. They are using more silver per year. I think over the last 5 years, Matt, they've been using more than there's supply that's, being mined. Okay. Of course, we've got surpluses up here.
It's the hottest asset on planet Earth.
It's the hottest what?
It's the hottest asset on planet Earth. It's silver right now.
Yep, it is.
Buy as much as you can.
Totally agree. The number, the 888 number, Matt, with his company, it's really cool. I love it. People who he sponsors, he goes on different episodes of different YouTube channels, etc. Everyone has their own personalized number, so that if people call in, okay? Whether it be on the 888 number, which literally like records that call is associated with me because they're seeing that number on the bottom. But if you want to get in touch with Matt via a cell phone, okay, so you want to, maybe urgency or you have some questions or whatever, you can call him on the cell phone number, which I'll have in the links below. And then you can get in touch with him relatively quickly. He always asks people, where did you hear me from? Because he does sponsor several people, individuals. And we want to make sure that the right people, get the credit for it because, we're just trying to encourage people to transition over. We've been doing it for a long time. Matt, I was one of the first people with you pushing that, wasn't I?
100%. You were the first one. And I'm very grateful for that. And we're doing a good job for people. What separates us from the pack is, you go to these jokers out of places like Los Angeles, these gold companies, they charge people 150% premiums. That means if you have a $500,000 retirement account or just cash purchase, that now equates to about $200,000. It's disgusting. And I want nothing to do with those practices. I want nothing to do with it. I want to charge my little tiny fee that no one even feels, have people saying good things. And it's our Patriot community. We're a big family. I love our people. I want to take care of them. To me, taking care of grandma and grandpa's retirement accounts, that's an honor. Hey, these people trust me, and I'm going to deliver back because, at the end of the day, it's so important that we all stay true to the message. We stay honest with each other. We're all seeing this stuff appear, and it's like, we talk to our friends and family and they just don't see what's going on, and then you get together with your Patriot friends and it's like, it's your soul family. I want to help these people. I really do. And it's such a scummy industry, but it's such an important asset class to own, so it's just like, you got to have it, but who are you going to deal with? So I want to help our people, and, people come to me or go to your local coin shop, whatever. But I want to, if you want to, as I almost coined myself, pun intended, I thought I was going to say America's local dealer, I'm America's local dealer. So if you don't have a local dealer, come to me. You support the show. You support Kelly Ann. It's as you would call a win-win-win.
That's right. Win-win-win. Is that what I used to say?
Yes, I love you.
And also, Matt, remember this? Silver and gold. It's so funny.
Great. It's great.
It's really a fun time for me, even though I'm all this medical stuff is not fun. But just the fact that Matt is so, what do I want to say? I want to find the right word. I'll find it in a minute. But it's so gratifying, okay, to see that the message that we had back in December of 2022 going forward, not seeing all the writing on the wall, not knowing that, the Q team would come out and start using these educational videos, Asian guy, what is that? That's silver, right? But not knowing exactly how the wealth transfer or how people would get the wealth back in their hands from these crooked banksters. Just the fact that we saw the writing on the wall, even though we didn't know how it would all shake out, and now to see it coming to pass, it's so gratifying to me. It's like, you know what? We helped a lot of the friends. We really did. They took a chance. They saw the bigger picture. Like, face it, the people who've listened to my videos for many, many years, calling out that JFK Jr. was alive 9 years ago. Okay, I was called every name in the book for doing that. But the friends that congregated with me and saw that bigger picture, they're not dumb bunnies, man. They are smart, okay? And a lot of them took the dive. They did. They saw the bigger picture. And to me, that is so gratifying. It makes all those videos that we did totally worth it. Like they're redeemed, okay?
And on that subject, Kelly, we have to give our good friend Wendy a happy birthday today. It's her birthday. We're recording this on Tuesday, the 10th. It's Wendy's birthday today, and I just want to wish Wendy a very happy birthday. We're going to see you here in a couple days, Wendy. We love you.
Up north, Wendy.
Up north, Wendy. Yep, she was one of our first clients from your show.
Yep.
And she has done unbelievably in her precious metals. And it's so nice to see. It's her birthday. And I just wanted to tell Wendy that I love her, and I'll see you soon.
Yay, Wendy. Yeah. And thank you to the friends who took the dive way back yonder, because they helped me out as well, right? Sponsorship
Absolutely.
stuff. You got to have some movement to be able to be worth it for a sponsor. So I'm just so grateful to all the friends, but I just feel so gratified.
And Kelly, the reality is we're just getting started. You know, it's like if you're somebody sitting there on the sidelines, you haven't missed the boat. This is just phase one, right? I mean, we're seeing predictions of, you know, $200-300 silver by the summer. I mean, Juan was talking on a recent interview, 450. He said, and he did say it, but even 1,000, you could even see $1,000 silver. Now, granted, there's a lot of factors that would have to happen for that, you know, to occur, but it's in the cards. I think it's going to happen eventually. Okay, so it takes a couple of years for that to happen. Great. Go ride silver for the next couple of years.
Right. That's it.
I mean,
and you buy.
These price drops, these are completely, like you pointed out, Kelly, is perfect. These are buying opportunities. It's like, go get your hands on as much of this stuff as you can. I get into the collectible stuff personally. This is one of the proof sets from last year. Really beautiful.
Nice. The thing too, when it went up to 121, right? And people saw it, and I'm sure there was a lot of people going, oh my gosh, why didn't I get it at 70 or 80 or 90? But then it came down to the 60s, high 60s, low 70s. And now it's kind of in a low range. I think that was Q's educational point to point out to people, don't sit on the sidelines. Go
100%.
buy it. We've brought it
100%.
down now for you. Go buy it. And even as it begins to creep up the stuff, buy it. If you can get your hands on the metal, buy it and hold. Do not sell it. That's the main thing. This is the reset. I really believe that this is the reset going into the new financial system. It's going to be literal silver and gold.
100%. And when you see these dips, it's all artificial, right?
Right.
Just remember, you know, with the lower silver price, what do we see with premiums? Premiums went up. You know, the premiums on Silver Eagles are starting to look like what they were back in 2023 when the mint stopped producing them. You, Kelly, you had a wait time on your silver, right?
Yep, a little bit.
So in other words, you know, I'm not getting this stuff out instantly. You know, right now we probably have a good, you know, 2 to 4 day wait period until it actually gets shipped. You know, we can't bring in inventory fast enough. So let me ask you a question. Sure. You have a wait time on, let's call it X product, right? In this case, it's silver, but I don't care. It could be anything, right? X product, you have this wait time. How's the price going down? It makes no sense. If the stuff's selling off the shelves, the prices are going up. So we know it's market manipulation. And what's great, you know, what I love is that I think, especially with Asian guy, people are starting to really learn about market manipulation. And this is the stuff, Kelly, we've been screaming from the hilltops since December of 2022. You and I have been screaming from the hilltops, hey, this stuff's suppressed. This stuff's going to go through the roof. And you're exactly right. The people that bought in at that time, they're doing phenomenally. They've tripled their money. They've quadrupled their money, both in gold and silver. I mean, gold had a big run, a year and a half ago. So it's nice to see people do it. I want people to do well. And, you know, that's what I'm here for. You know, if I could be nothing else than just an honest person in the business that helps you avoid dealing with these jokers out of LA, you know, that's what I'll be. You know, I want to help the Patriots and work in the community. Yep. and do it at the right price, put them in the right stuff. You know, we're putting people in, you know, the Silver American Eagle, right? This is what we've been telling people to buy.
Yep.
And everybody's doing phenomenally. So good on you, Kelly, and thank you. It's nice. It's been wonderful working with you. And you know, if you remember, I was a viewer of the show initially. You know, it's like all these shows. Now I'm on them. I saw Juan and Jennifer in Vegas last year. I'll just tell this story really quick.
Yep.
And I'm standing there with Jennifer at the elevator. She'll confirm the story for you. And you know, this is like a ticket. You know, we paid like, I think it was like $3,000 a ticket that you could take a +1. You got 2 nights of Trump test. So it was a good deal overall. We got a canvas. You know, so they did. It was a good value.
Right.
But I'm standing at the elevator next to Jennifer, and these people come out. And they come up to me, they're like, "Are you Matt Geiger, the gold guy?" She starts laughing because they recognize me as if I'm some celebrity, and I'm just a gold silver dealer, no one important, But she laughed. She'll tell you the same thing. It was funny.
That is funny. That's good. Jen and Juan are awesome.
They're
Been
awesome.
Very, very supportive of Greg and I during all this health issue stuff. They're phenomenal. There's really just a handful of people that Greg and I really trust in this community. I mean, really, we hold it to our chest. I know a lot of people out there, they watch these videos, they feel like they know me because I'm pretty open, right, on these videos. But really, there's only a few people who really know what I'm all about and how I tick and stuff and know more of the personal stuff. So, and I'm good with that. I'm more than good with that. I don't need any fanfare. I don't need any popularity. I don't need to have my name and lights or anything like that. My thing, literally, Matt, my number one joy in life is to get up and spend time with my Father. That's what I do. I go to my Bible, I read it, I sing to the Lord. I love it. His peace, like I'm battling 2 cancers, okay? When they told me, the one doctor, she's like, because when they told me I had colon cancer, right, the second one, she's all, I'm sure, that you were really scared and this and that. And I said, actually, didn't even faze me. It did not faze me, Matt.
That's amazing.
I was not scared. I wasn't.
Good for you.
It didn't even faze me because I know that, God's in charge of my life. He's in charge of all of our lives. He created us. You want to have that intimate relationship with him. And so for me, that is the main eternal message that I want to get out along with these physical nuggets, okay, in terms of converting over. So Matt, we will leave it at that until next time. Again, friends, if you call the 888, they know it's connected to me, but don't be afraid to call him also on his cell phone. Then I'll put that link down there. Just let them know that you heard, our discussion on
Kelly sent you.
Report. Yeah, Kelly sent you. Kelly, Matt, together.
And we'll do a promotion. We'll do for IRAs. We'll do some original George magazines for everybody that brings in an IRA.
Nice.
So we'll do depending on the amount. I'll see what I can do, but we'll pull. Yeah. I bought a couple of stacks of entire collections of the entire issue. We'll see what we can do for you. We'll do something. I always err on the side of generosity, so we'll handle it for you. So we're gonna take care of people.
Now, what's your name?
What's that?
What's your name?
The
gift guy.
Oh, the gift guy. That's right. Yes, the gift guy. Yeah. No, thank you, Kelly. Always good to be with you, and really appreciate everybody. And thanks for having me.
Okay. Until next time, my friend.
Can I be honest? Well, can I be honest? I just want to be honest. Well, I might be out of my mind, 'cause I'm in my heart. Looks crazy sometimes. Showtime if you don't know, but don't call us loco. It's a locomotive. Trump train like we go. Even Kylie Minogue know. Every drop make an ocean, and there's a brand new dance. Kelly Ann do the locomotion. Gotta catch 'em all. Comms, everywhere I comms. Hot route, Dan got the ball. Don't doubt, gridiron eagle. And at the end of the day, this whole thing is making the Super Bowl look like a puppy show. And so when it's showtime, it's all we knows and I told you so's. And I speak for myself when I say stay humble, we're in it together. Even sometimes when that slogan feels like it's moving slow. Who got the rock? Don't ask Jeeves, 'cause it won't compute like NPCs. Looking for a sign, any question, got the answers inside. Call the love line, spine spiral to the sky. Break a hive mind, do you believe? And whether it's Isby's to eternity or the Long John Silver cord that will afford you the life you seek. The future ain't bleak. The future ain't bleak. I must confess, I believe.